All right, for week 3 assignment 2, there's two different things that we're going to be doing. The first is to make one color look like two colors, and then the second is going to be to have two colors look like one. Um, First one's going to be a little easier, most likely, but one of the big tricks that I want you to sort of keep an eye out for is the S and B sliders on your middle color. Keep them low, like 50 is pretty good. 50 and 80, those look fine too. You don't want bright colors. Bright colors are going to really give you a hard time because they don't like to give up their sort of color identity. They really like to assert themselves over other colors. So that it would be an example of a decent one there. So, all right, let's scroll down to this guy here. Now, main thing I want you to watch out for is that your middle colors here or here are going to be significantly different. It's important that these colors C and D are different enough from one another for the exercise to actually have any sort of meaning. If you use the same color, then it doesn't really matter that you made them look the same because they already were the same. So what I'm going to do is start off with a dull color again. I like these dull colors for this one as well. Fill that in, and then from here I know that our definition of significantly different is the sliders have to be 10 or more apart. So I am going to, let's see, I see 132 there, so let's say 120, since that's 10 less than, or well, it's a little more, it's like 12, but that's fine. And then this one, let's go 64, because that's 10 more than 10 or more than 53. And then 78, let's go 68, 67. Okay, so then that would be our color for this one here. And that's how we know they are going to be significantly different. Then I can kind of look at them and I say, all right, this one here feels a little, let's see, did you let me do it? There we go. Okay, so this one here does feel a little more yellow. This one here feels a little more, I don't know, blue. I think blue is a fair way of putting that. There's a little more cyan in there, but okay, so anyway, I'm going to put some yellow behind this because if it's got yellow in it, I want to get that yellow out of there. This one here, it's got cyan in it, so I'm going to put cyan behind it or something close to cyan. That's not even remotely close, right? So what we need to do is start working with the S and B sliders and probably the H slider still just to get us a little closer. So this one here now feels very green to me, so let's try putting that there. This one's very light, so how do we make it less light? Well, we could put a lighter color behind it to make it less light or darker, but we could also put a darker color behind this one. Let's try that. So that one now feels lighter. I would say those are pretty close. It might actually be too light now. Let's try. Okay, so now that's feeling okay. Now the saturation on this one doesn't feel good at all. That one's way too dull. So let's try dulling out the background a little bit. Okay. So those are feeling okay, pretty close. When I stare at this point in between the two colors, it starts to feel like they're pretty close. Now this one starting to actually feel like it has too much blue again, so I'm going to change that. Now it's too yellow. Oh, I'm going to do that. Okay, let's try. And really, you will be just moving it around, picking at it. And moving those colors a little bit at a time. Okay. Now on my monitor, I think that actually looks pretty good. That one might be a little too. Here, let's. There we go. Okay, so those on my monitor look pretty good. There is a little bit of flexibility on this because all of our monitors do look different, but when I stare at this point in between and relax my eyes, those do look the same to me. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea on how to go about doing this.